It's you again. Or if you're new here, welcome. Here in my art room, I showcase longer videos than I do on Instagram. I also take you out and about, so have a look out for those. I'm having fun with the landscape today. Let's start the video. This is my tablet here, going in this stand. You can see behind. Sorry, I didn't do an intro or anything, but anyway, we're getting right to it because I'm eager to get started on this piece. But here I have it clamped in, and then you can lock it, and it can turn, vertical or horizontal. And this bends here. Turn it back around for you. Okay, that's the image I'm working on. Can you see? It's a picture of the water meadows where I went walking recently. You can see how to have the trees there. I have a section ready to put, I forgot what those called. They call it cattails or something. They're all, well, they look like a hot dog, but they burst open and have all these fluffy things. Is that cattails? Anyways, they're going to go there, and a hint of them there. I'll bring you closer in a bit I'll bring you closer now. Anyway, I started with, you see the orange? Do you see the orange peeking out? I started with a wash of a bright orange, let that dry. Then I came in the next day and drew out my composition in red. I usually do blue, but I did red this time because I wanted the lines to kind of disappear when I added the paint. And this was the first pass, so this is technically my underpainting here. And then I'm going to add thicker paint on top. But let me bring you closer to have a look. Now you can see a little bit better. I have added in little swans, some birds here. I even have 2 figures and 2 dogs. And I will reinforce all of these at the very end so that they stand out a bit more. All this paint that I put in here had a mix of my favorite medium, the oleo pasto. And I did this yesterday, and look. Touching it, it's thick paint too. Oh, that's a little bit, but it's a little sticky. But I can put my fingers over it. So when I put the thicker paint on, it's going to drag across here, and it's going to give me some lovely textures. Now, this isn't my usual style. Let me grab something off the wall here. That's my usual style, okay? I do wet on wet. I don't usually let the layers dry as I go. Maybe a quick drawing and a quick thin wash of color for the underpainting, and then I go right ahead in with the paint until I'm finished. So it's a different look than this already. Plus, this is on panel. This is a board here, actually, not panel, but I usually use a hard board. So this is on a MDF wood block that's oil tempered on the front and gessoed 3 times. And this is a canvas board that I got from Jackson's Art. So it is an MDF board. I think it's 4 millimeters, and then it's wrapped with linen canvas and then primed. So there we go. Oops, that was loud. Okay, so we have some of my medium still on the palette from yesterday. You can see how Look at how sticky that got. Now, as I mix this around, it will soften up. So I'm going to save that there. And I'm going to put some more out on my palette. And this is the label has come off, but it's the Winsor & Newton Liquid Oleo Pasto Medium. So the viscosity is like that of Vaseline when it comes out of the tube. When it first comes out of the tube. So it's still workable. So I'm going to mix up, I think, a pink. I want a pink sky, so I'm going to use some white and some, I think that might be too pink. Let me save that there, because I might use it somewhere else in the painting. Add a little bit more. Well, I didn't add any yet, so I'm going to add some medium to it. I think even more white would be good, and a tiny bit of lemon yellow, just to warm it up a tad. All right, let's see, maybe a bit more. Just putting a little bit of medium on the very tip of my palette knife and adding it in. Okay, let me scrape all this up. Get on the back of the knife and grab a brush here. I need a wider one. No, this one will do. And I have some blue, kind of warm green here to mirror the green from the grass. And you can still see the underpainting peeking through. So keeping in mind the fat over lean idea when layering thick paint, I want to make sure the layer that I go on top of this is thicker, quote unquote, fatter than what is here. So thicker paint, more oil, and more medium, okay? I don't have to go that, too thick, because the layers, in my opinion, are still very thin for my style. So, okay. So now I'm going to just put that in over, and I'm just what's called dry brushing it. I don't have solvent on this brush. I'm just putting it in and I'm dragging it across. So when I want it to be more opaque, I lightly touch the surface and it goes on. But if I want to mix it in a little bit, I'm just going to dig in, and still a bit sticky, the paint underneath, so I can kind of mix in. See? And now I'm going to put that right on that edge between these trees here in the back. I'm pushing it in to the sky a little bit as well. Kind of drag it across very lightly. I'm not pushing in too hard. I'm touching it to the peaks of the paint and kind of dragging it across. Okay? I'm doing that because I just wanted a flatter appearance here rather than the brush strokes. The blue is added. You have the pink sky there. Pushes that further back. Give some distance. The next thing that I will do is use some of this kind of teal color going through these trees here to give the idea that these faraway trees don't have leaves on them either. So I need a bit of that to peek through here. To the blue mix, I added some cerulean and some cadmium red orange light and a bit of burnt umber. And I got this kind of muted teal here that matches here. So I'm going to just add little bits of the blue down between the tree, this tree line, to give a hint that there aren't any leaves on the tree, and you can see through them. So the tree will have some shadow here from the light behind, so it's a bit darker in this area, lighter here where the light is hitting. So I'm going to use this color, which I mixed with the teal that I had here. I just added some, what is this called? Hold on, I'm looking in my drawers here. Oh, here we go. It's called Bright Green Lake, and it is by Michael Harding. So I added this to the teal color that I had up here. You can't see I'm pointing to it, but you can't see I'm pointing to it. But so similar to this. And then I added the green lake, bright green lake, and then a little bit of, open the drawer here again. Some unbleached titanium dioxide by Michael Harding. And then, of course, my medium. I didn't add any yellow, and I think that's because this green has enough yellow in it that when it's mixed with other colors, it really warms it up. So that was nice. Okay, so on this brush, I'm going to just get a whole heap of that on. And right where, I'm trying to keep in mind where the shadow is going to go, I'm just dry brushing that over. Keeping some of the stuff that I've kind of put in there, keep it showing. I added a bit more cerulean to it, and you can see it is a very cool green now. I didn't clean off the brush. It's okay if it mixes in. I have a few more layers to go with the green, so it's okay. So I'm going on top of the other green, kind of dotting this one around. I've mixed a kind of a gray brown. I used burnt umber, a little bit of, permanent rose, titanium white, and some ultramarine blue. And I made this kind of beigey color. And I'm going to add that into just this area here. Going to use a brush first to kind of get it down. I'm mimicking reeds. And now I take the knife. I'm going to add more paint on top. Just have it catching the other marks that are already there, so I'm not pressing in hard, just gliding over it. And then, fun part, is I take the edge of the knife. Can you see? I hope my hand isn't in the way. Maybe let me see, is my hand in the way? No, it's not in the way. Take the edge of the knife and I gently scrape through, revealing the underpainting, the other layers. So don't want to dig too hard. I don't want to get to the white base. I just want to bring the pink out more and also the orange underpainting. So I'm varying the pressure in which I scratch through the paint. So light kind of brings out the orange. If it is starting to look a bit too uniform, because you don't want it to have the same marks, the same direction all the way across, unless you're working on a pattern or something. So I'm going to go in and soften some of these. Okay, you can see what I worked on today, which was the sky a little bit and pushing back that tree line and adding a bit of, messing up this and adding more texture and greens to here. And some of these reeds I put in there. And I think don't know, I have more layers to go with this, but for now, I just wanted you to get a glimpse into the process, the process of this new venture in my painting style. Um, Thanks for coming along with me and watching. I really appreciate it. See you next time. Bye. There are more videos to watch. Take a look.